Hello, my name is Allie and welcome to my channel. We are back with Caller X Malice, Sasazuka's route. Let's go. I didn't know why my mind always filled with the worst possible things to think during situations like this. I knew that my face is burning up right now, and there's no possible way that Sakuragawa didn't notice that. Uh-huh. I see. Wait, no, really? From the way you're acting, there is something going on, but you're not sure yet. Seems like I'm right. I will exercise my right to remain silent. Aw, come on, don't say that. Aren't we friends? Really, it's nothing like that. And if you invent weird misunderstandings, I'd feel bad for Sasazuka. Aw, you're quite an upstanding one. Fine, if you insist, I'll respect your wishes and back off here. But we're going drinking soon. I'll be interrogating you for real then. Can I refuse that? Oh, after all the help I've given you, you're going to say that? Fine, let's go eat barbecue then. That's right. We're gonna go eat barbecue. Well, we'll have meat, but you're still talking. I couldn't dodge it. Sakuragawa smiled wide as I took the files back from her. I had this odd feeling when I left the room. I didn't think that she saw Sasazuka and me that way. I couldn't help but dwell on it after what Sakuragawa said. Either way, I had been ignoring the situation and leaving things ambiguous, and she forced me to confront it. We were partners. But when I think about that more, I'm asking myself, are we really? The distance between us was completely different than when we first became partners. Besides, I can't kiss someone who I don't have feelings for. Honey, really? People do it all the time. At least that's how it was for me. What about Sasazuka? I should stop. This isn't the time to be thinking about that. I can define our relationship once we've finished dealing with X-Day. I carried the heavy files and reached the investigations HQ. You're late. Sorry, I got the materials for June too. That's considerate of you. Well, Sakuragawa got it for me. Ah, I see. Sasazuka took the materials and started looking at the data regarding the Metropolitan Office bombing on the 15th. It's highly likely the explosives were planted beforehand. Does it look like Akito's doing? I think that someone else planted them. He's on the wanted list, so he can't really move about freely. Someone else planted the explosives, and then Akito actually detonated them. Is it possible someone other than Akito did that? Oh, lady. No. How much have you looked into the June incident? During a science experiment, an entire class of students were caught in an explosion and killed. The class that was targeted had a student who committed S in the past. They suspected the bereaved family, but they had an airtight alibi. Seems like you know the summary. Kanade Sera committed S about 1.5 years ago when she was in middle school. Her family didn't realize she was being bullied. They were shocked when Kanade committed S, and they confronted the school about it. But the school refused to admit to the bullying. The Sera family investigated the other students on their own and filed a lawsuit. I see. So what happened to the lawsuit? It was thrown out of court. One student that was going to take the witness stand suddenly refused to show up in court. Without the cooperation of the school and with their own witness gone, they had no way to prove that bullying existed. Oh no. Here's where the problem is. I haven't confirmed this yet, but the student that was supposed to testify was pressured by the school. No, someone even higher. Does that mean... Yes, the 3 victims killed on the 15th. They were all linked to the witness suddenly backing down. That is sad. Wow. I know what it's like to be bullied. I was bullied like crazy all through school. Pretty much when I was 4 years old in preschool up to, I think, 7th grade. And it was just terrible. It was nonstop. And I know what it's like for it to be pushed aside too. Like the few times I did talk to adults about it, they didn't do anything about it. So it was like, you know, the schools act like bullying. We don't allow that. We don't like that. But then when someone complains that they're being bullied, they act like, oh, not my problem. You know, it's sad. It'd be strange to not suspect Akito at this point. I can't say anything. Just as Sasazuka said, considering the situation, Akito was obviously the prime suspect. Akito should be within Adonis right now. I don't know how he is, though. What do you mean? Manabu Soda, Rika Sugawara, Akito Sera. What's the reason that the suspects have been easily found since December began? Because I thought a little before answering. We're going to say they were pawns. Because they were pawns that Adonis was comfortable sacrificing. That's right. Like Soda, once he executes his incident, his usefulness to Adonis has been exhausted. Then Akito's a pawn too? I can't shake that possibility. However, in Akito's case, they realized that we suspected him, so Adonis scooped him up before we could grab him. If the perpetrators of the X-Day incidents all have the chips in them that Soda had, the conversation we had with him was overheard by Adonis too. You mean the day we all had hot pot? What exactly did you talk about with Akito? I didn't say anything of substance, except that I knew he was a suspect for the June incident. The first thing he asked was, am I a suspect? Akito had apparently been prepared for this eventuality. Akito was nervous when he found out you were a former police officer. But you exchanged information later, right? Yes. So what would happen to Akito after he paid for his revenge with the incident on the 15th? Could he be sacrificed? If he really is useless, maybe. What do you mean? At the very least, Akito is safe for now. I know that for sure. How do you know that? Reasons. I'll explain later. Assuming that Akito is safe, what do you think the reason is? The reason? Although I'm not convinced it's true, I start to think based on that assumption. We're gonna say because he is still useful. Because he's still useful to them. Yes, that would be natural to think that. Considering what happened until now, the perpetrators of the X-Day incidents were only useful as pawns. How can you be so sure? Whether it be with Soda, Sugawara, or Akito, they still lived their regular lives, right? If they really needed them in the syndicate, they would just keep them within the Adonis hideout, the way they're holding Akito now. But they didn't do that. Why? Because they didn't want to let them in. More people knowing means more possible leaks. But isn't it also risky to just let them run around freely? Even if he's caught, they can erase what they need thanks to that chip. Oh, that's right. But that's all the more reason to wonder why they still want Akito then. What value does Akito have that the other pawns don't? Huh? I'm talking about you. What I said was the connection with Sasazuka. Could it be my connection with you, Sasazuka? Yes, that's right. I can't say it publicly, but you know the reason why. Yes. Adonis reached out through my collar to try and recruit Sasazuka. They did say through the collar that... Flashback. We'll contact you another way soon. And to Hoshino, I wish you luck. Could their other way be Akito? I said that at this particular moment, Akito is safe. Yes. This is why I think that. While he said that, Sasazuka took out his cell phone and showed me his screen. 12:17. 10 p.m. This. So, we're going to the office tonight. Huh? We can't talk about it here. Besides, our meeting place is in virtual reality. I don't get it. You'll see tonight. I guess I shouldn't really talk about that while we're in the office. December 15th incident has been added to materials. Hey, give this data back to Sakuragawa. Oh, you're done? Yeah, and once you're done with that, meet me at the entrance of the department. Are we going somewhere? I need some motivation for the afternoon, so I need to fill up my stomach. I'll treat you to something as a reward for using your brain. Huh? Are you sure? Yeah, anything you want. Just think of a place to go. Anything but a bar. Got it. You got so happy all of a sudden. You really are a dog. I'm not a dog, but I'm looking forward to a good meal. Yeah, just go. If you don't hurry, I'm going without you. Okay. Interesting. I grabbed lunch and returned to Investigations HQ. There were a lot of investigators here for the meeting. Minagishi isn't here yet. Maybe he's still busy.
Hey, have you heard? The chief of police is here in Shinjuku. What? Police Chief Takeda? That can't be true.
The police chief? Police chief. The chief of the Metropolitan Police Department. The National Public Safety Commission must get agreement from the City Public Safety Commission, and then a police chief can be appointed with the Prime Minister's confirmation. I couldn't help but listen in.
Yeah, I heard the orders came from headquarters. They're getting impatient because HQ is getting close.
HQ, X-Day. Why is it HQ?
The pride of the police is on the line, but it's serious business if the police chief himself is coming here.
It seemed that the chief really was in Shinjuku. I poked at Sasazuka's arm next to me. Sasazuka, did you hear that?
I already know about the police chief. He'll be attending this meeting.
Huh? How did you...
Shh, here he comes.
I hate this dude. I don't like him. When he entered, every single one of the investigators present stood up. Sasazuka and I did the same. Yusaku Takeda, 58 years old. So that's Police Chief Takeda. The presence of the chief of police added a lot of tension to the room. The police chief glanced around the room and silently sat down in the middle. Next to him was Minagishi, who had followed him in. Have a seat. Minagishi gave out the orders and everyone obliged. I love that you can hear the rolly chairs. I looked to my side, but Sasazuka was acting like he typically does. I feel nervous.
Now, let us begin the investigation briefing.
That heavy announcement opened the meeting. I hate that dude. The details of the briefing focused on the expression of resolve from Police Chief Takeda. With the countdown to X-Day drawing near, the police chief was here to assume direct control. The pride of the police was at stake, and we were risking it all to solve the incident. We were expected to ramp up all our efforts in order to accomplish that.
Do you understand? I need you to understand how serious my arrival makes the situation. My position is also at stake here, so stay alert and watchful.
I don't like him. I agree. I hate him. Everyone here was constantly on alert and giving in their all to investigate these crimes. Police Chief Takeda didn't acknowledge the efforts everyone put in and sounded like he only cared because his status was in jeopardy. Yes, that's all he cares about. I shouldn't let it bother me. I was sure the police chief had a lot to deal with in his position. With that thought, I continued listening.
That ends the briefing. Return to your post and resume your investigation.
Cheers. And Sasazuka, come here, please. Huh? While I was surprised to be summoned, suddenly Sasazuka just got up and walked over. I quickly stood up too, but I hesitated a little before I followed him. Wait, they didn't say her name. They just said Sasazuka. Okay.
As promised, I let them know. Please make it quick.
Got it. Sasazuka went out to the hallway after exchanging a few words with Minagishi. What should I do? I didn't know whether or not to follow them, but then Minagishi tapped me on the shoulder, or at the back, close enough.
You can tag along, but keep some distance. Do not just jump in.
And I am going to let you guys go here. I hope you are enjoying, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!